2026 hair trends are everywhere, but this is the absolute truth. 90% of those fads are going to look ridiculous if you don't understand what I'm about to share. My name is Justin Hickox, and in my 30 years as a professional hairstylist, I've done TV makeovers, tens of thousands of clients, and most importantly, learned what works and what destroys confidence. So I'm not here to share fads, I'm here to give you my professional filter on some of the most popular hair trends going into 2026. The goal here is to help you understand what will actually build your confidence and what will leave you not wanting to leave the house. Trend number one is going to be the couture bob or the luxe bob. Now, this is a bob shape that's blunt and lands around the chin area in the length. Although I will say that I saw one article from We Are Addicted magazine that did describe it as a chin to collarbone length, which is a much better option, and I'll explain that in just a second. Side note, all the articles that I reference in this video I will add to the description as well as the pinned comment so you can read them if you want. But here's my take. In the 30 years that I've been doing hair, I've never seen a time where there wasn't some sort of bob hairstyle that was trending. They're always in fashion on some level. But something interesting is actually happening right now. See, bobs have been really popular for a few years. And lately, I've actually seen a decline in the viewership of content that I make around bobs. I've also seen a few comments of people talking about being bored of bobs. Now, look, I definitely don't think that the bob is out. Like I said, it's never been out. But I do think that many people are looking towards other styles because, like any fashion trend, once it gets too heavily saturated, people start moving to something different. But regardless, if you are going to move into a bob and you are considering one of these versions of a bob, do not, and I repeat, do not fall into the trap of following a trend of a bob shape that forces you into a specific length. It's the quickest way to hate your hair. With a bob, always dictate the length by how you feel about your face shape first. Like if you feel like your face is on the full or the round side, leave the length on the bob a little bit longer than your chin, and it's gonna help elongate your face. Or if you feel like your face is too long, then just take the length up to around the chin and it'll actually add some fullness to your face. The key is to choose a bob length that suits you best, then work that length into the bob trend that you're wanting to hop into. Does that make sense? Also, if you want me to do a video on how to move out of a bob hairstyle, like how to grow it out and how to style it as it's growing out, or the best options for going shorter, comment below. Let me know because that could be a good one, I think. Actually, my wife told me about that one, so I'm just figuring out if it makes sense or not. Okay, what I'm about to share next is going to completely change the way that you look at every hair trend from now on. See, when I first started doing hair, a woman named Susan, call her Susan because I call them all Susan. She came into the salon, she sat in my chair and she said, "I'm bored with my hair. It just feels cheap." So I was kind of confused and I said, "Well, okay, explain to me, what does cheap mean to you?" She told me about the nights that she would dress up, right? She's got beautiful clothes, a perfect outfit. She feels incredible. And then she'd go look in the mirror and her hair just kind of didn't match. It's like it dulled everything else and it just didn't feel like her. And that is when it hit me. For Susan, it wasn't about a new style, it was about a new shape. Because hair shape is what frames the features that you love and what softens the ones that you don't. It's what kind of pulls everything together so your clothes, your face, and your confidence all kind of speak the same language. Now, here's the real truth, right? So come here, listen. Confidence feels expensive. Did you catch that? See, it's not the price tag and it's not the trend, it's not the fit, it's how it works with you. That moment with Susan changed the entire way that I approached hair forever. It's why I've spent 3 decades studying hair shape and how it affects face shapes. It's why I teach it constantly here on this channel. It's all I talk about. And it's why I didn't say that the couture bob is out. It's just that it needs to be adjusted so that it actually works for you. So with all of that said, to kind of preface moving forward so you know where I'm coming from, let's talk about number 2, which is deep side parts. Okay, so this trend is actually a bit of a couple combined. It's both a deep side part as well as combining that with a slicked back look, or individually they work as well. Now the good thing here is that it's more about a style than a haircut, meaning that you don't have to cut your hair into a specific style to achieve something like this. Now as far as the deep side part goes, yeah, this can be great, right? It gives you a little bit more volume on top. It is if you don't slick it to your head. Usually going with the deeper parting means that some of your hair is going to be parted against the way that the roots naturally want to fall. And therefore you're going to get a little extra root lift that can create a little foundation for a little extra volume. Also, if you have a naturally thinner side on your hair, parting it on the opposite side so that you pull more hair over to the thin side can create the illusion of density. But, this is a big but, so listen. If you feel like your face is already long and you go with the deep side part, you could run the risk of adding too much volume on top and removing some of the hair from the sides, which actually removes volume from the side because there's just less hair there to create volume. And that could actually make your face feel a little bit longer. So just keep that in mind. Now, as for the slick back look, this can absolutely be awesome, kind of for the right occasion. It can look super slick and elegant, but I do feel like this kind of requires dressing for the style. If you dress up more elegant or edgy, then this look really adds to that overall style, right? But if you're dressed like in weekend sweats, and no, I'm not talking about like the cute ones, right? Then this actually can just kind of end up looking a little bit unfinished. At the end of the day though, this is a very bold style and it is all about confidence. I mean, I actually love this style. I think it's great. You just need to pay attention to how you're presenting yourself as a whole before you dive into something that's that bold. Hope that made a little bit of sense. Hey, real quick side note, if you're getting any value out of this content, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free to you. You can unsubscribe at any time, but it really does support the channel. It helps me, so I would appreciate it. And if you really like it, do me a huge favor and share this with anybody that you think would be interested. Hit the share button. It's there. Just do that now. Click share, send it off. Email it. I don't know. Put it on Facebook. Do something. 3 is soft piecey bangs. Okay, this one, my gosh. Okay, I found a few articles, okay, that mentioned bangs, and then I realized that basically all the bangs are mentioned. Like not one, just period. So realistically, hey, next year bangs are gonna have their place again, right? What happens is magazines are gonna grab a bunch of stylists to talk about them, and those stylists are gonna call them all sorts of different names and new names to try to make them sound like they're brand new bangs. They're not, right? These are just bangs, and that's great. Like bangs are great for a lot of people, but they're also not great for a lot of people. Breaking down which bangs are best for who, like that's an entire video in and of itself. However, there is one thing that I think you should do before getting any bangs, and that is that you should determine which bang look that you're trying to achieve, and then determine if your hair will actually have enough hair to achieve that. Let me explain how. If you look in a magazine and see maybe dense or thick bangs, just because you like the way they look and you have enough length in your hair to achieve that, it doesn't mean that your bang section of your hair is dense enough with hair to get that look. There is one easy way to determine if you have enough hair or not, and that's to simply take something like a pen, right, or a comb, and you literally just put your head sideways, look in the mirror, and you just lay that comb flat on your head. Now, wherever that comb leaves your scalp, that's where your head rounds down, okay? If you just put a little finger on that spot, remember where that is, you take your comb and you take a section from here to that spot to right here, the recession on your hairline, and then the same thing goes over here, and you comb all your other hair back, you've got this little kind of triangle horseshoe of hair there. That's your bangs. That's what's actually gonna fall forward and lay like bangs. So use that to determine if you have enough hair to create the bang look that you're looking for, and then talk to your stylist about what makes sense for your day-to-day routine and how you're gonna manage bangs, and if you wanna manage bangs, if you're going to deal with the outgrow on bangs and the constant upkeep of bangs. Take all that into consideration. But before you even do that, figure out if you got enough hair to do it. Okay, trend number 4 is the modern shag revival. I'm actually, oddly enough, really excited about this one. I actually love the modern shag. Like this is another style that, if I'm honest, really lends itself to a more kind of edgy look when it comes to how you dress it. Now it's great if you've got really thick hair because it's super good at removing the bulk that plagues thick hair. But if you have thinner hair, this look is definitely overlayered on purpose to look thin, and it could actually make your hair look thin like it's thin on purpose, which is a good thing. But you just want to be a little bit careful because you could overlayer it and get it to be even too thin. So just ask for a little less layering than kind of a normal shag, and then realize that you might need to bring the length up closer to the neckline to get it to look thick enough at the end so it doesn't look overly thin, because the closer you get to the neckline, the thicker your hair is going to look at the bottom. But either way, this is definitely a strong style if you've got wave or movement in your hair, because it allows the stylist to layer the bulk out of anywhere basically, so you really can help accentuate the facial features that you want. Only other person that I would say stay away from this is if you've got bone straight hair, because it does definitely require some sort of texture or movement, or at least the ability to get texture movement in your hair to really do it justice. Okay, number 5 is warm blonde tones. So I think this is a bit of a push against super cool platinum blonde tones as much as it is a push towards warm tones, right? Like warm tones can be great, they can be amazing, but you gotta first understand that warm doesn't have to mean orange or overly red, which is what I think a lot of people think. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are many warm blondes that do have those colors as bases, but you can also have blondes that look less orange or red that are still on the warmer side. So I would say if you're picking between a platinum blonde, which is like a blue-white blonde, or a super light blonde still that's got a bit of natural or kind of a warm base tone, pick the warmer one. 9 out of 10 times, it's gonna look much better against your skin tone. It's gonna look a lot more kind of rich and lively, if you would, and just overall be more flattering. Don't get me wrong, there is a place for cool platinum tones, but most of the time, I think warm tones are gonna be the play. Okay, trend number 6. Oh boy, here we go. Sculptural updos. I literally saw this and I wanted to slap my own face. Look, you can run me through the coals on this one, but just no, right? Just no.
Immediately.
This stuff is fine for session work or shows, right? But in a normal environment, on normal people just doing their day-to-day thing, come on.
But I love you and your value stay the same. You're still valuable.
If you're going to like a big gala, like a red carpet event, and you're like wearing like a really ridiculous gown that looks amazing, right? Then yeah, I can see how something like this could be cool. But when I think of trends, I think of things for the masses, things that you're gonna see often, not things for a few people that are gonna make sense for some very rare events. So even if you could, right, do this on your own hair, just do yourself a favor. Go grab one of your kids' Lego structures, paint it to match your hair, glue it on. It'll take less time and look just as ridiculous. All seriousness aside, these are just not looks that make really sense for most people. They're very, very structured. Obviously, it's even in the name, and they're just hard to achieve, and they look just, in my opinion, they look contrived, like, but not in a good way, right? Let me put it this way. I think a lot of trends can be good, but also I think the trends that stand the test of time are the ones that you look back on and don't think, what in the was I thinking? And this is one of those trends. I can promise you that in 10 years, if you style your hair like this somewhere and you take photos, you are not going to look back at those photos and go, oh my gosh, my hair looks amazing. You're gonna look back and go, why does it look like I have a sketch on my head or like a Lego structure? This is ridiculous. You know, do with it what you will. Roast me in the comments. I'm sure there'll be some people out there that love this stuff that think I'm just the worst human on earth for ever saying anything bad about it. But it looks dumb. I'm gonna lean into this one hard. I'm gonna die on this hill. Sorry, I just don't like it. If it did help, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, if you like this video, check out this video. Or you can go down to the comments and yell at me. Either way, click here, click there, go for it. Do your thing. See you in the next video. Bye.